And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Kentucky Speedways. We're getting set for race number 20 of the PCSRA Buffalo Wild Wing Series. After tonight's race, only 3 more races left to go for these drivers before we find out who will be the 12 drivers to lock themselves a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Time is running out for drivers that have not been to victory lane to try to get a win to get into the playoffs here today. Jesse Art on the pole position for the second time this season. Comes in this race 20th in points. A win for her could possibly put her into the playoffs. Alongside of her is Lucky Prescott in the 96. She comes in this race 34th in the point standings, former winner this season. A second win could possibly lock herself a playoff spot. Sean Art has made it back in the top 30 in points, but he is still on the outside looking in. 29th in points is where he sits. And Wyatt Garcia, who dropped a spot after last week's race at Talladega, he's looking to rebound today. And the points leader, Ari Springer, completes top 5. Here's a look at the points coming into today's race. As the command has already been given, the pace car will roll out, and so will these 39 drivers. Ari Springer comes in this race 85 points as the points leader, 85 points over Greta Wagner. Stephanie Driscoll lost a spot last week at Talladega. She's 98 points back. Xavier Alsop is 4th, 121 back. Paul Michaels is 5th, 153 points back. Darby King, Lulu Champagne, John Wesley Allen, Monica Towns, and Amanda Wallace complete the top 10. That is your top 10. The points presented by Golden Corral. Last week at Talladega shook up the playoff standings because Greta Wagner would still be in with her 2 wins. Ari Springer would be 2nd, Darby King 3rd, John Wesley Allen 4th, Monica Towns 5th, J.J. Park 6th, Annie Winters 7th, Max Lipson 8th, Wyatt Garcia 9th, Belle San Diego 10th, Carla Sanat jumps into the playoff grid in 11th. Bridget Thomas has the final spot in 12th. And, of course, winners were Miranda Wicki, who's 22nd in points, Ivory Walker 26th in points, and Sean Art 29th. Any of them get a second win, they would solidify themselves a spot into this season's chase for the championship. But it's time to go racing in the Bluegrass State. 94 laps these drivers are going to have, and that will be an automatic wave off. The 42 has blown up. They were just about to get the green, but the 42 blew up, so that will be an automatic restart. And we got another car who is having trouble. So that's another wave off. That's 2 straight wave offs. So they're going to get those cars fixed up and ready to go back to racing. Making sure nobody has mechanical problems. So they fixed the 42. I couldn't tell who was the other car that had problems. Whoever it was, they fixed whatever the issue was and got them back out onto the track. Want to make sure everyone takes the green. Seeing a number of drivers starting at the rear of the field, like Greta Wagner, 2nd in points. As this time, for real, we will go green at Kentucky. After 2 wave offs, here we go. Pace car will finally pull off the pit road. We're going to go racing from the Bluegrass State. It looks like nobody's going to have any mechanical problems, so we will get ready to go green. Here we go. Kentucky ready to go racing. We're underway in the Shady Rays 200. And Jesse got a good start. So did Sean Art. He's going to pass the 96, sorry, there. Jesse Art has not been to victory lane this season. Sean Art, Jesse's little brother, has. Jessie would like to get a win to get herself into the playoffs. Sean Hart would like a good run today to ensure he's into the playoffs. Jessie leads lap number 1. Sean had a hell of a run on the high side. Will Sean pass his little sister? We're going to see. They are side by side for the lead, but Jessie's going to have the line. Sean looking like he's going to have his work cut out for him. The two siblings from Texas. Sean's been the victory lane this season at Martinsville. He's worked super hard to get himself back in the top 30 in the point standings. And if Jessie goes the victory lane, Jessie Hart would lock herself possibly a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Would be nice to see Sean and Jessie both battle for this championship. Remember, Jessie Hart helped Sean get to victory lane at Martinsville. Is Sean going to return the favor to help little sis get herself into the playoffs? Remember, both of them go into the Truck Series regular season finale in a must-win situation. Lucky Prescott trying to make the top 30 in the point standings. This could make things a little bit interesting. Here comes Sean trying to battle Jessie Hart for the race lead. Jessie's going to get the good run on the high side. These drivers cannot make it 94 laps on a tank of fuel, so they're going to have to make pit stops here tonight. Check the back of the grid. Diana Lawson, who was sent to the back of the grid for not getting out of the way last week at Talladega. Jared Underhill's not running good. Neither is Greta Wagner, second in points. The gal that she's trying to run down for the points lead is in the top 5. Last couple of weeks, whoever's been second in points, they haven't done themselves any favors of catching the points leader, Ari Springer. Marco Diaz making his 4th start of the season. After tonight, he will bypass Emma Tutu, excuse me. Almost said Emmy Lipson. Speaking of Emmy Lipson, you will see her and the other Monster Energy Series drivers as they have made it to the Seattle, as they're going to be back racing. There's the points leader, Ari Springer. All Sean Hart needs to do is finish ahead of those drivers that he's trying to run down. Also want to point out that Scarlett Nelson has fallen outside the top 30 in points, means her win would not count towards a spot in the playoffs. She is only 4 points back of 30th in the standings. That's occupied by Jared Underhill. But like I said, for Sean and those drivers that have a win, a second win could lock themselves a spot into the playoffs. Greta Wagner can actually clinch her playoff berth today, or actually is already in the playoffs. Jessie Hart trying to make a last-ditch effort. She would like to battle her brother for the championship. Sean Hart has been working super hard. He's been outside the top 30 in points the last few weeks here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. He's trying to make sure a second win for him. He has solidified a playoff berth. He's trying to help little sis get her first career win. Because Jessie Hart has not been to victory lane in any of my series. And let's not forget, these two are not just siblings. They're also teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing. Keep that in mind. And they've only been to victory lane with Sean Hart, a little surprisingly. Their other teammate, the 20, has not been to victory lane. The 54 All-Star team has been to victory lane, but they're not inside the top 30 in points, however. Keep that in mind. And Sean Hart's been trying to pass Jesse on the high side. Nearly got wrecked by Lucky Prescott. That would have been male abuse on the 96. And Jesse somehow, some way keeps the lead. All Sean needs to do is have a good run. If he has a good run today, even if his little sister goes to victory lane, Sean Hart could be in the playoffs. Because it's getting a little intense. Who's going to make the playoffs and who's not. If I'm Bridget Thomas, I would not be feeling too good right about now. Sean Hart going for second on Lucky Prescott. But we've seen it before. He's tried to do that. He can't even get the pass made. There's Jared Underhill. Came in this race in that critical 30th in the points. John Wesley Allen not having a good run here tonight. Mia Watts is more than likely going to head into the last 3 races in a must-win situation. There's last week's winner, Carla Sinat. 25th is where she's situated. She came in this race in the 11th seed in the playoffs. A poor finish, and she would be out. Where is the 40 car? That's the driver on the bubble for the playoffs. Bridget Thomas is looking like she's going to be... she's currently 14th, so there you go. About to have a battle for the lead, but as we've seen it before, Jesse Hart gets a good run. Here comes Sean Hart. He's going to try to make something work. He's tried that inside line so many times, he can't make it work. Now he's going to try to see if he can get something to work on the outside. But he's just not there yet. I just wonder if Sean's got a tight race car. The big thing for Jesse Hart is that Sean is trying everything he can to get little sis to victory lane. Remember, Jesse Hart got to victory lane by helping her brother out and winning Martinsville. And now Sean trying to return the favor to help little sis get to victory lane. Even if these two don't make the playoffs in the Truck Series, they could be in the playoffs for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. The bad news for Bridget Thomas, however, is that Sean Hart's running third. He's doing his playoff hopes a lot of good. Sean Hart is desperate to make the playoffs. He wants to have him and his little sister in the playoffs. Not if Lucky Prescott's got anything to say about this. As Prescott looks like her car's getting tight, and Jesse gets a hell of a run off the high side off turn number 4. We're 19 laps in, and Jesse's got a really good race car. That Toyota is fast. Sean Hart again trying to pass Lucky Prescott, but can't make the pass made. Jesse Hart goes to victory lane. This could shake up the playoffs even more. We had Sanat go to victory lane last week at Dega. Jesse Hart's trying to go to victory lane here tonight. But the thing is, Jesse Hart, the more laps she leads, if she gets a perfect score, boom, she's right near the top 10 in the points. That could solidify her a playoff berth. And it would be nice to see Jesse make the playoffs. It would be nice for Jesse to make at least one playoffs. I mean, like I said, even if they don't make the playoffs in trucks, oh well, they could possibly have a chance to make the playoffs. Of course, the top three in the starting order are 1, 2, 3. Jesse, Prescott, and Sean. Yeah, the Art siblings are split by Lucky Prescott. We talked about Sean Art, who's been trying to get himself back in the top 30 in points. Lucky Prescott's the same way in that DLP 96. Of course, you can tell her car a bit different than the 19 to 18. The spoiler is red, whereas everybody else is running black. So you can definitely pick those cars apart from one another. Also on Ari Springer, her spoiler is white, after she's been running an all-red spoiler of late. And surprisingly, we have not had a caution. This is also another thing I should point out for Ari Springer, because this track right here we're racing tonight is an elimination race for the Monster Energy Series. And she might have that advantage over those other drivers who have never raced at Kentucky. You know, you got a couple of scenarios that really could make things interesting. You got Lucky Prescott's trying to make the playoffs, trying to get in the top 30 in points. Sean Art's trying to make sure a good run for him, he would possibly be in a good situation to make the playoffs. Jesse Art, on the other hand, look at the things she's trying to do. She's also another lady who's trying to make the playoffs. She's had a somewhat of an okay season, comes in this race 20th in points, would like to make sure she gets in the top 15 in points. Let me also note, she's a Foster Series driver for next season, because she and her brother are going to be teammates at Trackhouse Racing next season. Sean is going to drive the 1, Jesse's going to drive the 99 Chevrolet. And they'll be locked into every race. Would love to see this 19 car go to victory lane here tonight. Any of these drivers, Jesse Art, a win for her could put her in the playoffs. Lucky Prescott and Sean Art, however, a second win for them, they would just leapfrog over those one-time winners and possibly lock themselves a playoff berth. If you're the parents of Jesse and Sean, you would be a nervous wreck right about now. Because let's see, your son is running third and your daughter's in first, and you're split by Lucky Prescott. So yeah, Sean Art again trying to pass on the inside. It's not working. Either that or his car is getting tight. These three have eased away from fourth place Wyatt Garcia. And a car out of the race, Scarlett Nelson. Engine failure on the 24. That might be all she wrote for Scarlett Nelson. Came in this race running 32nd in points. I can safely say that might have been all she wrote for Scarlett Nelson's championship hopes. I could also say the same for Diana Lawson. I think that might be all she wrote for her championship hopes as well. I'm also seeing a number of drivers back here really needed good runs, like Maria Nowicki, 35th. Not sure what's up with her car. April Winters, that just pretty much sums up her season in a nutshell. So that's a big disappointment for the Nathan Orman Motorsports bunch. And well, the good news for the 24 team is, one, they're going to keep their charter because they won a race this season. But I can definitely say Scarlett Nelson is absolutely going to be facing a must-win situation, or she will be of trying to get into the top 30 in points. So that is a tough, tough break for that 2014. 2 weeks in a row for that 2014. Last week got caught up in the big one at Talladega through no fault of their own, and now this week, they've been in a free fall the last couple of weeks. So we got 39 cars on track and all on the lead lap. Looking very good. Ari Springer might keep the points lead the way she's been running, but like I said, we have yet to have pit stops here tonight. These drivers cannot make it 94 laps on a fuel run. Let's see what the pit window is while they're racing. 66 laps. So these drivers are going to have to make some pit stops before this race is over. I will get into a VC with Sean and them after tonight's race. If you didn't hear me say it last week at Dega, I will be in a VC with them. And I can't wait to tell them how this shook up the playoff grid. Caution for the first time tonight. Oh, big wrecks. Sierra Harris, John Wesley Allen, Ivory Walker, Greta Wagner, second in points is in it. Oh, boy. And Jesse Art will lead us under a caution for the first time tonight. But second in points and the number 1 seed, Greta Wagner, is involved in the first incident of the night. What do you think? These drivers are on lap 37. Oh, they can pit now and make it the rest of the way. See what happened here. Diana Lawson might have been collected. Oh, Ivory Walker was involved. Oh, Ivory could not ill afford a bad finish tonight. Let's see what happened. Someone hooked the 81 up into the wall. That would be Sierra Harris. Oh, Victor Gonzalez got a piece of this. And this all happened behind the points leader, Ari Springer, of all people. What is it lately with these wrecks that's behind the points leader? It looks like Sierra Harris got turned into the wall by Gonzalez. She didn't like that. Took Gonzalez into the wall. That's not going to sit well with... and caused a big incident. And this is the problem about Kentucky, because a lot of drivers were split. Split up 83. Bam! Right into the 70. And Ivory Walker goes into the wall, almost up, got both the Red Bull cars. Greta Wagner, April Winters. Yep, both the Red Bull cars were involved. Ivory Walker continued. Looks like, I don't think she hit the wall. Actually, she did hit the wall with the left side of her yellow Chevrolet. And Jesse Art wins the battle off pit road. So these drivers have pitted. They can make it the rest of the way. Boy, Ari Springer is probably doing the happy dance right now, because the gal that's trying to run her down for the points lead out of the race. All right, Jesse Art going to bring us back to the green. Drivers out after that incident. John Wesley Allen, Sierra Harris, and the big story right there, second in points, Greta Wagner, out of the race in 39th. Good thing she has those 2 wins, or she would be absolutely going to be free falling. So the last couple of weeks, the driver's been trying to run down Ari Springer for the points lead. gets involved in a wreck or does not capitalize. We've been seeing that a lot in the last couple of weeks. Speaking of that, where is third in points? Driscoll's all the way back in 21st. So that means Ari Springer, as things stand, she would keep the points lead with 3 races to go. Sean Hart has passed Lucky Prescott for second. Whatever Sean said on the radio on that first run, I think his car started getting a little tight. Of course, Sean Hart, I don't think he minds about a new winner this season. All Sean probably just needs to do is have Jesse go to victory lane. That's all he's hoping for. And by the way, Jesse Yard's about to get ready to be on the chopping block for a You Blew It. Hopefully, Sean just lets her go and lets her win this race. I think that's what Sean needs to do, is let her go, win this race, be happy Dory, and not get triggered. I will have to check who got a You Blew It from Dega. Well, whether he finishes second to his little sister, whether he'll be disappointed finishing second to his little sister or not, Sean Hart can still be happy his little sister is trying to go to victory lane. Of course, she will now be in a couple laps on the chopping block. So the Art siblings duking it out for the lead. I think Sean wants to make sure his little sister wins this race for 2 reasons. Number one, to repay Jesse back for helping Sean win Martinsville. And the other thing is Sean Hart is also doing his playoff hopes a lot of good. He's ahead of drivers like Bridget Thomas, who came into this race on the bubble. Ivory Walker, who was involved in that first incident tonight. So Sean's already passed Ivory Walker. Maria Nowicki. Sean's already is ahead of Maria Nowicki. Caution's out for the second time tonight as we're at the halfway point. Excuse me. Marco Diaz involved in whatever this incident was on the front straightaway. So another wreck on the front stretch as we're at the halfway point of tonight's race. Maria Nowicki, by the way, now goes into these remaining races in a must-win situation. And this involved third in points. Driscoll was collected. Oh, Jared Underhill collected. Hard in the safer barrier. Diana Lawson. Yikes, that was close. Nearly got hit by the Furniture Row Chevrolet. Kaylee Rankin's at the rear of the field. Not sure what's up with her car as we're at the halfway point. All right. Oh, Kaylee Rankin came to pit road. Looks like an unscheduled stop for the 31 team. She's now 2 laps down as we're going to go back to green. How would it be for Jesse Hart to finally go to victory lane? Yeah, definitely I think Sean's trying to make sure he returns the favor for Jesse is what I think is going to happen. And Lucky Prescott's doing her playoff hopes also a whole lot of good. So now Sean's got to make sure his little sister does not get the quote, "you blew it." I will start a VC with, speaking of Sean, I will start a VC with him after this race is over. Because I want to see where this is going to, what kind of scenario we're going to have for the Buffalo Wild Wings series with 3 races to go. Of course, Sean's going to enjoy the off week. Him, his little sister, Lucky, and all of these other drivers that are not Monster Energy Series drivers. Of course, we will see Ari Springer next week when we head up to Castle Gorge. Also, Emily Elizabeth will be at Castle Gorge next week. You know who's probably a nervous wreck right now is probably going to be Abonia Mirwaz if she ever races with her siblings. And of course, you will see Ebonia Mirwaz and the other Monster Energy Series drivers next week. Sean is just defending his spot, saying, I want to help my sister win this race. It would also mean the 3rd win for Joe Gibbs Racing, as this is actually, interestingly enough, the fewest wins they've had this season. Of course, like I said, Sean went to victory lane at Martinsville. Their all-star entry, which was Pete Heller, went to victory lane at a track I can't think off the top of my head where he went to victory lane. I want to say Texas, but I could be incorrect. But I know he went to victory lane. And now Jesse Art, actually interesting to note, I think Joe Gibbs Racing has more wins this season. Got somebody kicking up some dirt down the front straightaway. Not sure who it was. Oh, it's Jared Underhill. A bad night gone worse. Hi, Brian.
How's it going?
I'm alright. Just waiting for your dad.
Yeah.
So a bad night gone worse for the Michigan native, Jared Underhill, who's not triggered and not ejected for excessive raging. And Jared's like, accepted. Time to not trigger Jared. Time to not eject Sean for mega excessive celebration. Monica Towns running in 25th. Gave this race top 10 in the points. She can probably ill afford it. As Jesse Art trying to make sure she gets the 3rd win for Joe Gibbs Racing. Jared Underhill's come back on the track. And Jared's going to let Jesse go. So Jared being a fairly gracious back marker. He's not having a rough night. He's not going to get in the way of Sean and Jesse. So he says, you two go ahead. I'm not going to hold you up. You go by me. I'm not having a good night. So Jared being a very gracious back marker. Yep, Jared's probably just letting all these drivers go because he's got some issues with his car. He might be down a cylinder or something. Here comes Sean trying to get the lead. He's done this. He did this to Jesse earlier in the race, but just can't get the pass made. And Jesse just gets a great run. Fair play to these two. Sean said, I will race my sister clean and smart. Well, he's done both. He's done both, and Jesse's been getting good runs off the corner, so fair play to Jesse. And fair play to Sean and these drivers. Being fairly aggressive, being fairly smart. Of course, remember, these two are teammates at JGR, so I bet Coach Joe Gibbs is thinking, you two be nice to each other. Would be special for Jessie to make the playoffs. Also would be special if she and her brother Sean makes the playoffs. Wouldn't that shake up the playoff grid? And Jessie's gotten her 5 points for leading the most laps. So Jessie is now, like I said, on the chopping block. But to be fair for Jessie, she's doing it for a reason. Who's that up ahead? Hello, base car. Who's that up ahead? Oh, that's Kaylee Rankin. Kaylee's had a rough night here tonight. We're also being told the 22 of Amanda Wallace is a lap down. I think she made an unscheduled stop. So Penske's dismal night continues. Not sure what was wrong with the 22, but that is a very tough break. Oh, Kaylee, be nice to Jessie. There you go. Kaylee's got damage, so that's why she's off the pace. Costed Sean a little bit of time. I don't know who's supposed to do the dinner duties tonight. Somebody should have. Because I would like to go to the bank on Friday so I can cash my check in. I just may walk to the bank on Friday. Actually, I could walk to the bank on Thursday to just cash that check in. Give me some exercise. While this battle for the lead heats up, I'm going to go ahead and take the earbuds. So I can talk to Sean and Toby. And Toby's waiting for his dad to get here. Excuse me. It's like Marco Diaz going to be a lap car. So we've had a couple of incidents on the front straightaway so far in tonight's race. Let's see why the 22 came to pit road. Yeah, she was a lap down. Let me investigate this. Yeah, she was on the lead lap. Wonder if she had a problem or something. See what happened to the 22. And yep. She came to pit road. Oh, she got a penalty? Huh. That makes no sense. Well, Cody's going to have to go run over the officials with a bus. Tough break for her. Unless she jumped the restart, that would probably be my only guess. Why she had to start why she's a lap down. So Amanda Wallace not happy with the officials on the radio. Can't say I blame her. Fucking stop! Stop being drunk! Hang on, I'm to apologize, but the Wi-Fi don't accept the apology. I'm about to miss this damn finish because Wi-Fi's like, oh, I'm not sorry, we'll penalize you. But off turn number 4, after all that screaming on Wi-Fi, Jesse Hart's gonna win at Kentucky. Jesus effing Christ, Wi-Fi. And the caution is out. Oh, huge wreck on the back straightaway. Bridget Thomas had Swartz in it. Oh man, we had a huge accident on the back straightaway. And Molly Thomas just hooked Emily Elizabeth, took out the 40 car. But it didn't matter, we were racing back to the checker flag anyway. Oh, Maria Nowicki's caught up, so that's going to hurt Maria Nowicki in the final results. And there's how Hattie Swartz got a piece of the 66. "19 must have gone. Nope, there she is. First win of her Buffalo Wild Wings Series career for Jessie Art. She might have just guaranteed her a spot into this season's chase for the championship. So Jessie Art, the winner here today. I do apologize for the Wi-Fi being stupid as shit. Pile of shit. Sean Art will get second. This is really going to help Sean Art in the deal. Let me clean off these glasses before I get hot. And Toby's like, that's good. I'm about to go shower. I may shower tonight, but anyway. Sean Art second, Lucky Prescott third. They've been the top 3 for the majority of the night. White Garcia, Justin Hugo, J.J. Park, Ari Springer's going to get the points lead. 7th, Luke Peters. 8th, Makoto Tanaka. 9th, Annie Winters complete the top 10. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing, 30th, my bad. Bridget Thomas finished 28th, last car on the lead lap. Hattie Swore didn't finish the race because she was a lap down, so... and all these other drivers out of the race due to that. Well, that will do it for Kentucky after NR decided to be stupid with my... Stupid, if you know what I mean. We're going to show you your point standings coming up next. So that way we get a proper congrats to Jessie on the victory. Jessie came in this race 20th in points. She led a lap. She was the only leader. And she led from pole to checker flag in tonight's race. So this might have just helped her and Sean possibly get in the playoffs. 3 cautions here tonight, so there you go. Again, I apologize for the Wi-Fi, but Toby did not accept the apology. He flipped me off. Dumbass. I don't know what is up with Wi-Fi of late, but needs to quit being drunk. Here are the points leaving Kentucky with 3 races to go, as I'm going to go ahead and scoot my laptop back, or myself back over here. After I tried to move it over. I'll put you back on the charger after I take you off. So the points leaving Kentucky with 3 races to go. Ari Springer moving up. Jesse Art's now into the playoff grid. Sean Art has overtaken. Let's see. Greta's 1, Ari 2. Darby King 3, Monica Towns 4, JJ Park, Wyatt Garcia, John Wesley Allen, Annie Winters, Max Lipson, Jesse Art is in the playoffs. Bill San Diego, Carla Sinat 12. Bridget Thomas 13th, Sean is 14th, but Sean's getting closer to making the playoffs. So we'll see if Sean Art can get a second win to make sure he solidifies himself a spot into the playoffs. As we look on down here. Rookie of the Year, Ari Springer kept the Rookie of the Year points lead. So there you go. That's going to do it from Kentucky, everybody. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finisher results. You were looking at your rookie points and your overall point standings heading into our next race in 3 weeks. That will be from the Knoxville Raceway. We will see you guys next week at Castle Gorge for the Monster Energy Series, as they will have their next race at Castle Gorge. Then the following week, we'll have the AutoZone Amateur Series back. They will go road racing at Sonoma. That will be a reschedule that was made after it was postponed due to wildfires earlier in the year. And then we'll get ready for the Monster Energy Division races for the Toyota Save Mark 350 before we have AutoZone Amateur Series, Buffalo Wild Wings Monster Energy Series at the dirt track of Knoxville. So thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, I've been DeDeVoe signing off. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best center racing since 2017. Good night from Kentucky. We'll see you at Castle Gorge next week.